Hi, I'm Alex. Today I'm showing you the Lego Technic rough terrain crane. I got it for Christmas. Guess it was a little bit early, but and yeah, this is it. And it has a lot of features that are really cool. So it's all powered. This can turn freely right now, but it can also be turned by the motor. It's all powered by one battery box and one L motor, which you can lift this up and see the back of the motor right here. It all runs into this gearbox, which changes the functions between the lower section and the upper section. So then after that, if it's flipped this way, it will run into this gearbox, which you can change all the upper functions like that. And I'll explain that later. But if you flip it this way, it can activate the lower functions, which you can see down here. There is this big, but so this shows the linear actuator. I don't know what to call it, but these pieces come down and they can support the crane so it doesn't move around when it's hauling stuff. And then on the other side, we have the crane base rotation. You flip this to decide which way you want it to go. Okay, so I guess we'll cover the basic functions first, the non-motorized things. So first off, we have steering. The crane is 4x4, everything's powered. And you can see the V8 engine that's powered when you roll it around. The wheel back here, it turns the wheels when you turn it. And then when it drives, it powers the V8 engine. So, I'm going to start covering the top now. So, you got the crane. To turn on the battery box, you just flip the switch. So once everything is flipped, and the nice thing is everything is labeled so you know what's going on and how things work, what to do. Okay, so we've got the wheel here. This shows the actual thing that will lift. Now this set came with some pieces that you built together, and it's kind of like a concrete structure that you can lift the pieces up with the crane. I forgot that at my dad's house, but that's okay because it'll work with it like a gift bag. So we have it turned sideways. The first function is this. Now I'm going to show you the quick version, and I can show you how far it extends. So we're going to wait to do that yet. So, and then you can see here you can switch the up and down function. So now it's going back up like that. Pretty simple. I'm going to move it back down a little bit. Okay. So that's a pretty basic function of a crane. Now another fairly basic function of a crane is adjusting the angle. Here you can make it go up higher, and that's using these two linear actuators on the bottom. As you can see, it goes up pretty high, but this is probably the coolest part of the crane. The middle function, you can actually extend the crane. This axle right here that goes all the way up through it, it actually powers this gear right here, which pushes it out. Now this can actually go up really high. Only thing I have to stop it for is this piece. When it goes up, it uses some rope, so you might need to lower it a bit more, which is quite simple. Get it back on the guide wheel. It goes back down pretty easy. And you can actually kind of see where it's at because of the gaps in between the pieces. So, going back to extending it more, I can put it back up, and I actually can extend it, and you will start waiting. You see how it's clicking? That means I'm at the top. It won't overextend, it won't break itself, which is really nice. What I like to do is just put it back in just a little bit. But as you can see, it's really tall. This is me standing up. So it's like up to my neck. Obviously, yeah, it's on the table, but still huge and really nice. And then from here, I'm gonna move it over the edge of the table. And now I'm going to extend the rope down, all the way down. So it came with a lot of rope, which is really nice. And now you can see how low it goes. So obviously this is extended pretty high, but it would be able to touch the ground if it was at a lower angle and extended back in. But otherwise, it can go down. It's a lot of rope. I guess it's time to talk about the clutches. Now, you see these white gears right here? Now, these white gears, it means that this can get powered and this axle cannot. If, like, you can see there, this isn't moving, this is moving. It has a little independent piece in the center. It basically means it'll stop it from overextending. Like, if it can't lift something, it'll basically let out the force and not break itself. Now I'm going to extend it back in. Okay, that's pretty good. Now we are going to unextend the crane. I don't know if that's English or not, but as you can see, it's retracting back in. That's pretty good. That can go in farther. Now to show the lower functions. So we'll act like this. So the lower functions. I'm actually gonna extend this back in a bit more. Alright, that's pretty good. Now, you can see here that it has the rotation on the sticker. It shows which way it can rotate. So by flipping this switch right here, I'm changing the motor so it's acting on the bottom. Now, if I were to flip this and turn on the motor, as you can see, it starts to turn. All powered by the motor. I'm not doing anything. And then if we were to switch this back, it will start turning the other way. Okay, that's pretty simple. Now, for another really cool part. It came with these plates. Now, these plates are used on the linear actuator, or the supports. You basically can flip it. It's on the other side, but it basically looks the same as this side. And you can turn it to down, and you start. And as you can see, they're starting to extend. Now you take these pieces, you put them about where you think you're going to go. You can adjust them later. That's everything. If you hear that clicking sound, that's the internal clutch of the linear actuator. Makes it from not breaking itself. Again, really nice. So these are meant to stop the crane from like tipping over. It makes it a lot more stable, but as you can see, I mean, this isn't really a bad thing. It's not going to break itself, but when you do tend to put some weight on the crane, it does twist a little bit, but there's not really a good way to fix that. These are plastic pieces. They flex. It's okay. It's not going to break, and it's not going to like tip over because of these pieces, which is really cool. It also makes it really easy to steer because a lot of the weight's off the wheels. We have that. Now for some of the smaller details. This is all sort of to minifigure scale. Not exactly, but you still have your cabin with opening door. Now this door opens kind of interesting. You see it doesn't just pivot on one point. It actually pivots on 2 points, and it can slide in, kind of slide out. You see that there is a steering wheel right here, and there's actually a sticker on there that shows all of the interesting cockpit stuff. Now, on the bottom, there are compartments, one on each side. This one shows tools, like that, and then on the other one, it's chains. Now, the chains can be used to attach other Lego creations and be able to lift it. I mean, it doesn't have to be Lego. It's got these hooks on it, which makes it pretty easy to, it's kind of like an anchor shape, which you can pick stuff up in. I put these back. These can go back in, they slide in. Same with the chains. On the other side, that works. They also include the mirrors. So when you are in, let's say you're driving this, which I don't know if it's realistic to drive a crane or not, but let's say you're driving it, you do have mirrors right here. As you can see there, that if you were driving, you would be able to see the edges of the crane. They also have a mirror right here. And you can see all the stickers. Looks pretty cool. And you can see some like hazards, like don't put your hand in, you're gonna get your hand crushed by gears. They have a few stickers like that. Now, let's say you're playing with this for a long time, you wear out all your batteries. Now, for one, this right here, this can flip up. This is like cord management, and then you can also move this piece and you can push it up. This pivots, and you have your cord right here, and you can just kind of keep it in place. You put this down, you can pull this piece out and flip it up. You have easy access to your battery box. You can actually pull these pieces out and you'll be able to lift your battery box up. Your motor is right here. You can easily disattach it like that. And there you go. Put everything back down. Don't want anything to get in the way. You can then put this piece back in. And there you go. That is mainly everything. I mean, this thing looks awesome. It was pretty expensive, but it's a really good present. It's a really good thing to use your time if you're in quarantine or something. This took me probably, say, around double the time it took me to do a Land Rover, and that was like 15 hours. So, but I didn't do it all in one take. I mainly just kind of went down there, worked on it for a while, then worked on it more other days, which was a lot better than going and doing it all at once, because you get to enjoy it more. But never got old building it, and you get a lot of joy out of seeing it all come together. Just one more thing. If you look at, you see there's back headlights. There's also front headlights. And then I'm just gonna give an overview of everything. So this thing is huge. You may look at it out of scale, but like, this is my hand, and this is the crane. So, this thing is just so cool. I highly recommend getting it. I mean, if you've got the money, because it is expensive, but I definitely would say it's worth it. It's really interesting to see it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like it, if you liked my content, consider subscribing. That'd be cool. I'm trying to get to 20 subscribers by the end of the year. But I mean, considering it's the day after Christmas right now, I don't really think that's going to happen, but we'll see. And thanks for watching. Bye.